Is Studio One 6.0 worth it? Should I do it? What are your thoughts, Ella? We want to know, we're dying to know what you think. And so many questions are centered around that. We've already did a live stream. I posted a couple videos based on some of the new features. And right quick, let's just go down the list of what's available. We have Pro EQ 3. Pro EQ was updated with dynamic function. So now we can dynamically attack certain frequencies, which is great. You know what I mean? A welcome feature. We also have a new de-esser, which is something that everybody and their mama was asking about. And so we finally got the de-esser, which is a great addition. We also have a refresh GUI or GUI. That is a really welcome feature. They modernized everything. Everything is rounded on the corners. Some of the new animations that pop up, just navigating through the new Studio One is refreshing. It's definitely a refresher. I like it. It's probably one of my favorite. It's just more nicer to navigate around there. It's pretty cool. We have templates now. You know, for those of you that are new to Studio One, there are templates, or more of a detailed templates in a welcomed manner, where when you first load in and you go from the templates from the start, you know, starting the project, they welcome you with a tutorial, so to speak, and show you where everything is. And you know, that's really cool. I like it. I say one of the ones I like more so is how you are able to customize your templates when you are in the project. You can choose what you want in your navigation at the top and also at the bottom. You know, if you want to see the tempo or if you want to see the sample rate, things like that. And you can save a preset as to, you know, what you feel like is important. And also things in your information section. You can dial in if you want to see the note effects, for instance. I remember when I went, I'm like, what happened to note effects? What's going on? And I had to like bring it back in through the custom deal there. There's a new section when you load up Studio One, or should I say more of a useful function. When you see your picture in the middle of Studio One, welcome you with your smile and your information, the genre that you work up under, you now have the option to go and change the artist that you are currently working with. You know, that's kind of cool. So you can flip between different profiles or just delete them all together. Not bad. Drag and drop for mastering purposes. So you can just, instead of like dragging and dropping your files when you're already in the mastering page, you can do it from the start page altogether. Cool. Better Spear collaborations. They definitely add a community section in there as well for forums, I'm guessing. That's cool. Fader flip. This is a feature that a lot of people request. There's a lot of these things that people are requesting, and I'll say that's one thing about Presonus is they definitely listen to the people. Track overview. The first time I seen track overview was in Cubase, so now we have it in Studio One. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's cool. It's a nice addition. It's one of those things that I didn't request for, but it's like, you know, I guess it has some use. Like, you know, it's like a bigger, you can see things a lot bigger in terms of what's on your track. It's a track overview. So boom, you know, instead of like looking at things on your channel, there's a big overview now that you can see everything, and then you can be a little bit more custom like. They also updated the panning situation, so we have 3 different modes we can switch between. You can double click on panning and it'll blow up bigger. You can see what's going. You can get a fine tooth. You can fine set what you're looking for if you blow it up, and then you can change between the different settings. Really cool, really cool. They didn't mention this, but I heard someone say that there's better optimization. They went in and I guess recoded or worked on, just better optimizing Studio One to work better and more efficient on your system. I haven't had Studio 1.6 for a long time to test that theory, but so far, things seem to be solid so far. And then there's a few other things that they did mention. I know that there's like 45 plus features that were added. Those did not make the headlines, but they're there. And over time, we'll see these different things as we make beats. This is what I do here on the channel, which is why you should be subscribed. We visit the scenario that most people will be in. Studio 1.6 is a professional software where you can make music and do video. I forgot to mention video editing. I'll say the video editing process is probably my most favorite. I feel like that's my favorite one. It's not a big deal, but Studio One is not a video editing software. I have a couple of video softwares to edit videos in, but to do quick video editing when you working on film, especially if you are a YouTuber or TikTok maker, when you have Studio One, you can quickly do like quick cut video, and they realize that that's what people are doing. They're just cutting and moving stuff around, and we have that option inside of Studio One, which is a really welcome feature, something I was able to do in Ableton Live, and now we are able to do that inside of Studio One. So really cool. What do I think? How do I feel about it? Do I feel like this is a worthy upgrade? I would say the best answer to that question is it depends on who you are. It's always going to depend on who you are. I can't say that this is a worthy upgrade and then you go and upgrade and you feel like, okay, so I was bamboozled, I was tricked, I was lied to. No, you have to watch enough videos. If you're someone who's thinking about upgrading and you're spending money, like if you don't have the Sphere account, which I feel like is probably the best route. If you just want to test out Studio 1.6, just go ahead and get a Sphere account, pay like $15, check it out. If you like it, continue paying $15, or if you like it that much where you don't want to continue paying, then you could just pay the annual fee, which is like $160 something, right? Or if you just want to buy the perpetual license and just own it outright, which is still available, you can just go ahead and pay the $400 or so and own Studio One. Now, the caveat of having Sphere, and I'll go and explain this again to some people, and this is just what help bring my whole thought process, because I know that that's a question that people is asking. But when you have Sphere is like a power up deal. Have you ever seen Power Rangers? I might be telling my age, but or any games with that concept. When you power up, yeah, I don't sound old because that's still a deal. Powering up, usually like when you're playing a video game or something, there's always an option, like an in-app deal, where you pay a little bit more money to have extra tools and extra gadgets and things that help you win, or handle things a little bit better in your gaming. The same way here, when you have Sphere, you power up. It's just not just the install, Studio 1.6. You actually have access to more loops, packs, everything that's in the Presonus store or made by Presonus. If you go in their store, they have a bunch of stuff in there. You have more plugins, effect plugins, presets that comes with the the instruments that are currently there. You also get the collaboration deal, which is where you have an account. It's kind of like Dropbox, where you could communicate back and forth. People send files back and forth, but the Presonus way is a more intuitive way. It's more of a musical way to do things. It reminds me of SoundCloud a little bit, where you can pick an area and comment right there, and so you'll know exactly where I need to adjust the cymbals, or I need to bring up the vocal, the background vocal right there. So that's Sphere, and having an account to that. And did I say it's a cloud? You can also use it as a cloud storage, where you can have all your files there, send stuff back and forth. I said that, but That's what Sphere is, right? It powers your situation up, and it also gives you access to Studio One 6. So for those of you that already have Sphere, you have that option for free because you're already paying. So they honored Sphere members. It's no problem. It's in your account. You can go ahead and download it and start using it. The thing in there is, the moment you stop paying on that, that is the moment you lose access to all of that. So that's just kind of how that works. But you can have the perpetual license and be someone who say, you know, I want to take advantage of all these other things as well. Then you can start paying the monthly Sphere fee to have those extra things, and you cool. And the power behind that is phenomenal. It's like all types of stuff in there to service people from all cultural backgrounds, whatever music you're working on, samples, sound effects, you name it, it's in there. So it's a pretty cool ecosystem to be a part. And only you can say if that's worth it to you or not. There are quite a few people who feel both ways, but is all this worth it? This is the question. That's the grand finale. Is it worth it? And I'm going to say the same thing. It depends on who you are. There are some people who do not appreciate some of the things I mentioned in this video as to some of the new things we are seeing. It may not be an upgrade to you. That's totally fine. Don't upgrade. Simple as that. But there are some of you that feel like, you know, that's something I've been looking for. I like that. I'm going to go ahead and update. Now, here's what I will say. This is kind of what I've been saying all along. If you know presonus, now we are in the big 6. At any big major number like 3, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3. If I start at 1, I came in at 3. So for me, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Anytime there's a big update like that, I feel like they really don't push out big stuff then. Like, it's not the boom. It's usually the 0.5s or just along the way. We give different things. So if you think about it theoretically, if you feel like it's not worth an upgrade, if you look at the history, it always been a significant upgrade. It's just that they didn't do it all in one take. I'm pretty sure, and I want to say I'm 100% positive that there will be some amazing things that's going to take place. And I say that, I did a video before, and we was all worried when Fender acquired Presonus. We was all worried, you know, we didn't know exactly what our direction is. But now that I see, and I had a chance to play with it, so it's like, oh, this is, see, I'm looking in the future, so to speak. Like, I kind of understand where they're going, and I feel like I'm 100% sure that things will only get better. So if over the history, if you line up all of the updates that happen over time, you will know that there has been some significant updates. So let's go back. When Studio One 5 came out, a lot of people didn't feel like it was worth it. Coming from 4 had some really nice stuff in there. But when 5 came out, it's like, what is this? This is not an update. I'm not updated. Great. But over time, different things came out, and it was like, man, okay, I'm gonna update now. But if you notice, those people who didn't update were people who just didn't feel like it was worth the upgrade at that point until something happened where they felt like it was an update. Then they went ahead and update. What I'm saying is, it's kind of like Apple. You know, if you are an Apple user, iPhone user, you know that each year they release the same phone, essentially. Same design, not much change. The only thing they update is really the chips. They make the phone faster, and they upgrade the cameras, and really the power is in the OS and what you can do inside the operating system. So that is really the big significant thing. But with that operating system, the phone gets better, because now your phone is optimized to work with that new operating system, and then your old phone becomes obsolete because it slows down, batteries start to drain, and it's like, now I'm gonna upgrade. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, essentially, when you could have just update altogether. And I'm not trying to tell you guys to spend your money. Like, this is your money. Look, I get it. And this is why we do videos like this, because you guys look to us YouTubers to say what we feel, and if what we feel resonate with you, then you make that jump or whatever. But here's my whole point, and I'm bringing it home. If you update to 6 and you feel like it's not an update, I think you are okay. You're fine, because the next time they do an update, you already got 6. You're already in there. So it's just going to be like a sweet deal. Like, okay. And then when they come out and update the sampler, right? I have faith. I don't know if that's what they have up on their sleeve, but we need the sampler to work like Ableton Live, where you can put the drum track in there, right? And then we can convert any of the pads to a full-on keyboard. I'm giving Presonus an idea. That's what's going on right now. Absolutely. Say that comes out. Well, I already have 6. I'll just go ahead and update. No problem. It's already, I already got a handle on what's going on, like all of the, the original updates. But now we got this new sampler situation. Bam. And when they update Note Effects, y'all see what I'm going? Y'all like how I slide that in there? When they finally update Note Effects to be on par with what we trying to do here in this music industry, that's when it's like, man, it might be worth the update. But I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. Do I feel like it's a solid update? Yes and no. There is a lot of things I was looking for, and they didn't. Like, Note Effects was one. I was looking for them to update Note Effects, and how Presonus gonna do it. I feel like they're gonna do it in a way where it's gonna be like, man, that's pretty sweet. But if we're looking at like Reason, for instance, Reason Studio, their Note Effects, or the quarter, and how you do things with their stock stuff, or the mimic, the sampler deal, those are really cool. And Studio One is so dinosaur age basic, and we just need a little more for producers that's been in the game for a while. And that's the reason why I do stuff in Ableton Live or Bitwig, because of how those samplers work a lot better. They're more advanced. Modulation is what we get into, which is, I failed to mention the vocoder. Did I say the vocoder? Vocoder is also another feature that was added to the new plugin list, effect wise or whatever. Cool. That's great. I just didn't think they would make any more plugins, because we've been having everything just been the same. So I mean, some people say it's 5.6. I heard that a lot. Some people say 5.9. This is not 6.0. This is like, these things is not. But if you think about it, we have MPE support now. And also, if you look at the GUI, everything was updated. Like, I felt like everything was updated ground up. Like, they redesigned Studio One. It still have the same familiar look, familiar workflow, but they went in and redesigned this thing. Things are placed differently. So that's why I say it's worth an upgrade, because like navigating around Studio One 6, it's like a smoother and more of a polished look. It was already pretty good, and it could be the reason why there wasn't that much stuff going, because Studio One is already pretty good at what it does now. But to please the people, to keep the people coming, we got to give people what they want. So I feel like that's where they are with that. And one day Presonus or presonus. That's what we kind of named them now since Fender took over. When they call me to come on board, then we can make a change. We can change the world for good. Oh man, I had to put these in these videos. I had to shoot for it, see where it goes. But that's where we are. That's my answer to your question. It was long-winded, I know. It took me a long time to get to where I am, but I wanted to show you and kind of put a thought in your head, just to kind of help you see things. Because people constantly ask these questions, and this is something that goes viral on YouTube. You know, what's the best DAW? What's the best this? And what's the best that? The best DAW is the DAW that you already use. You already use Studio One, so it's the best. If you use Reason, that's the best DAW. If you use Ableton Live, that's the best DAW because you already know how to use it. You know, but when you grow out of stuff, and that's, I guess, due to like your wants and needs and what you're trying to do, if that is greater than what you already currently have, then it might be time to upgrade or go somewhere else. That's the only time you make a shift to move on or whatever. But if you watching YouTube and you love the way this person works in this program, and you haven't mastered the program you currently work in, you know, this guy making it super easy. Like, I like his beats, or like even his style. I like how these people do things. It could just be that person. That's just how they think. It's like me. When I'm on these streams and do videos or whatnot, it's the skill of the person. It's what I have mentally, skill-wise, what I can produce, period. I am a producer. It doesn't matter what DAW I'm using. I can be in Ableton Live and still produce some magic. Doesn't matter. It's going to be different because there are two different platforms, but it's all about the person behind the gears. The person sitting behind the desk. The person sitting behind the computer, you know, behind the keyboard, whatever, right? It's the person behind the stuff that makes these things sound amazing, and what you can do with what you have to make it sound like something. That is what it's all about. So stop chasing people based on their workflow. Now, I watch a lot of people. I watch a bunch of people in FL Studio, and I feel like FL Studio is great software, but I am not led to purchase FL Studio because that's not where I am mentally. You know, I don't really care. I never really cared about having a copy of it. It may change in the future. I don't know, but I'm just saying. Just kind of using it as a scenario. We just talking about this stuff right now, guys. So hopefully you get my point and where I'm going with this. Is Studio One 6 an update? Is it worth it? Yes, it is. But it depends on who you are. Some of you, no, it's not. You're going to wait for Studio One 6.5. Because that's where the 0.5s are usually the big one. And then I guess we'll talk about it. But between time, until then, subscribe to the channel, see what we cooking up, see what we doing. And as updates come, we'll definitely talk about it. I'm excited that we are moving forward. I don't know what's going to happen next, but that's why we make videos. All right. Exciting stuff right now. I'm Ella, Creative Sound Creating University. Remember, music is art. You're the artist. Paint your picture. Stay creative by roots.